G'day guys, just back out at Warrandyte this morning. I thought I'd do a little bit of mining today. I needed to try out my high banker. Made a new spray bar for it. Still working on the screens, but made a different spray bar. So just back down at the crossing. So as you can see, that's the fire track pretty much there. They're the stones where people walk across. When I was here the other day, I thought, looking at this bit of rock here with the moss, I'm going to try and get that out. Probably move that rock as well, and just sort of focus on this area here. Pretty much just all in there, that rock. Take all them out. Just work probably 2.5 foot by 2.5 foot area, and then work my way down and see if we can get a bit of gold. So got the good old pinch bar, gonna throw that in and gonna try and remove these rocks. We'll see how we go. Beautiful. I was hoping that was a rock and not actually attached to bedrock in the creek. Yeah, it's fairly big. All the hard packs still stuck, so I won't keep these. I won't throw those rocks away too far. And what I'm trying to do here is just open the whole top up. Then I'll come back and I'll set my high banker up, and I'll have an area to work that area, have a little look and see if I've got any colour. If the colour's looking okay, I'll stay here. Otherwise, I'll move closer to the centre of the creek. Alright, that's probably enough ground to start up the high banker. While I'm setting up the high banker, the ground will clear there. I'm not real worried about the gold washing away. Creek is running very, very low. The water's not fast enough to move the gold from this area down. If you're in a larger river, water flows a bit harder. Might be a different story. But I'll set the high banker up and run a bit of dirt through it and see what happens. Alright, that's the ground there that I've just loosened up. I'm going to throw that rock in as well with the dirt on it. Now some people are saying, why haven't you test panned? Well, I bait pumped this same area the last time I was here, or the other day. So why not just run some material from that same area where I bait pumped. I knew there was gold in the surface. We'll have a look and see what we get underneath. I'll go through my setup. So it's a 8-inch gold rat high banker. Pretty standard in that sense. This is my new spray bar that I've made. It just has 2 twin outlets. Can adjust it pretty easily. Could have made it out of PVC for half the price, a quarter of the price, but I just like these fittings. I can unscrew the bung at the end here. Even those holes are fairly big anyway, but if something does get caught, unusual, maybe grass or something, I can just blow it out that end. Can always attach another pump if the water's not enough at that end as well. So 8-inch dredge mat that I'm using at the moment. Find this to be superior. I'm wrapped the way this thing works. I probably need a bit more water flow, but you know, we'll see how things go. 3,700 gallon an hour bilge pump and a little 30 amp lithium battery, which gives me approximately an hour and 45 minutes. Me digging for an hour and 45 minutes, like I'll loosen the ground up, I'll dig, I won't run the high banker while it's while I'm actually in there with the jimmy bar loosening up ground. So I'll flick this thing on. Have a look at these spray bars. I haven't actually used these spray bars before, or this particular spray bar, so we'll see how that works today. Seem to be getting, normally I run a bit of moss up there. I just don't have it with me today. But I'll throw a few shovels in and see how she goes. So keep in mind I'm running material that has a ton of clay in it, and even though I've broken this up, it's still a bit of a bastard to dig. I'm getting my hand in there and working it, just making sure the material that I'm throwing in, I'm getting it super clean. You don't want to be looking at your tailings pile and seeing mud and stuff still stuck to the rock. You want it fairly clean. Well, actually, you want it super clean. You know, if you're ever worried that the dirt is coming out and it's not super clean, shovel it through the hopper again. It's right there. It's loose, so it'd be a lot easier to dig than what I'm digging now. But ideally, you want to have those rocks as clean as possible. The other thing you might be able to notice is I've got the hopper set at the lowest angle. Why? You want the material to sit there. It's not a trommel. People sort of get mistaken that you've got a high banker hopper. I want to be able to shovel in, let the rocks roll down. Not the way a hopper works in a high banker. It's there to wash the rocks. Now in this hopper there's a pad there, minus moss and some expanded mesh. Acts as a bit of a nugget trap, boiler box. And that's the idea of it, is just to have it sit there. I'll do a couple more shovels and get you to have a look at the hopper itself while it's running. Like, I'm not getting a lot of material each shovel, but there's still a bit of rock there. There's still a lot of material in the sense that it's all hard packed. Alright, I've done a few shovels. So the material here is very hard packed. It's going to take a bit of work to get it clean. Want to get this material as clean as possible. So see, like this stuff here, a lot of it is just caked, as I was saying, compressed mud and clay and rocks, and hopefully a bit of gold. So we want to make sure we're washing those rocks as much as we can. You got to be a bit careful with your hands in here, like I am. Should probably be wearing gloves, but you know, not today. And it's about, just in case there's some glass, you can slice your fingers up. Now if you find your ground, like this ground is very clay, like clay based, you might want to run these tailings through a second time just to break them up a little bit more. They're coming out, you know, reasonably clean. I'm pretty happy with the way they are. You know, there's a couple of rocks like this they're getting by. I've got the angle on that hopper set to its lowest point. Some people like to run it up high, throw the rocks in and just let them roll out. If the ground allows you to do that, it's all well and good. This mat is clearing pretty damn good. As you can see, there's only really material in the cells. So that's all good. I'm happy with that. You see the rocks are sort of spinning around there. But I'll keep digging and we'll see if we can get a little bit of colour. Alright, starting to open up this hole. I've just been at it, the Jimmy bar again. That'll clear off in a few minutes. Pretty happy with the way that's working, as you can sort of see there. Creating a bit of a boiler box. Material's reasonably clean. A few little bits of clay and bits and pieces getting through, but that's to be expected. As I said, I'll throw those shovels through again for a second time. Saying I've stopped for about 2 minutes, not running. I'm running material through. The cells are all cleared up nicely. Turn this pump off. Telling me I've got 13 amps left, or 13.1. So that's all good. Little tailings pile. You can see I haven't moved a lot of material. Now, I'm not actually looking for gold here. I'm looking for other sort of indicators, like lead shots. Not really seeing anything like that there. More expected to probably find some lead shots in here. And hopefully a few nuggets. But we've got to remember we are at Warrandyte. And if we'll find the nuggets here, I wouldn't be down here by myself. The creek would be full of people. You do get the nice odd picker, but really, we're looking at that micro gold that I had the other day. A few little visible specks and the occasional nice little bit. I'll run for a little bit longer. As I said, I'm more testing this spray bar, seeing if my theory was right about this ground where I bait pumped. And like, if you're thinking about doing it, you'll see what my results were here, like today. I'm only going to be here for about an hour and a half max, because that's all the battery goes for. And I'll be lucky to run the whole battery. Got to get to work today. And if you don't remember sort of thing, like if you can't sort of work it out, just look for this rock. That'll be back in there, plus that rock there and that one. There'll be a bunch of rocks there. Fill in my hole, don't want anyone falling in it. Not that it's going to be probably any deeper than a shovel. I'm just going to expand that hole, as I said, where I was going before. This area here, about 2.5 foot by 2.5 foot. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully I'm showing you some colour at the end of this. Right, that's probably enough of watching me just shovel crap, not talking. Thought I'd, just even have a look at my own technique with the way I'm digging and what I'm doing, how many times I'm nearly falling over. Just sort of giving you a demo on how I'm going about it. The other thing, alright, take a little bit more, not a lot. Gonna just throw me, I just threw me palings through again. So I might just dig that last bit there and then I'll call it a day. Just that loose stuff that I've loosened up. Didn't realise there was so much still left in that hole that I hadn't actually put through. But I put that through a second time and more than impressed the way how clean those rocks are now. And then all the big mighty question of did we find any gold? Well, that shouldn't be too far away. So stay tuned. Alright, pretty much all packed up. Go over here to where I was digging. Just in case someone wanted to have a crack over the weekend if I do okay. Where this log is, I just noticed then, it's a bit of an impression here. If you can see it goes in a bit. Someone's been digging there. Look, I reckon you're pushing it. Don't go past these rocks. Like, honestly. Those big rocks there have been taken out of that bank. Don't be taking that bank out, because if there is a fire here, it's not super warm yet, but it will get that way. Don't be taking anything out of there. Parks will come again. Those rocks were put here by Parks about 3 years ago when someone decided to hack the crap out of the joint. I'm staying off the track. I was here. So track, if you say the track wall boundary is those rocks where people are walking, then stay away from, don't go on to the other side. So there's that rock that I initially pulled out. I've put that back in, a few other rocks. So it's pretty much refilled. As soon as we get a rain, that'll fill up with all the fine gravels again and turn into hard pack over time. I've got 2 garret pans today. So the super sluice that I was running, the pumping, fill that up with water, and as you can see, it's pretty shallow here, so hard to get a pan full. But what I tend to do, I know, I forget what this thing's called, something, gold trap. I don't use my garret pans all that much. I just prefer the Mine Lab. I know, just the blue. It's just I've happened to get these. So it's the same deal. We're going to just stratify. This is more what I was talking about, the super sluice is good. You're going to be panning quickly and that. But you really need to get a pan, something like this. That comes in the kit anyway, that you're going to pan into. I'm going to find a better spot and use 2 hands and pan this. The reason I'm going to pan into a pan is these are concentrates and you might want to pan them 2 or 3 times. This is all the heaviest material that the high banker caught. So you want to, get all the gold out that you captured. You don't want to be panning into the creek, rushing to have a look and see if there's any colour and lose some gold. So I'll do that and then I'll show you what's happened. Alright, I've just panned it once quickly. Like everyone, we all want to see what we got. I'm going to take these home in the pan. All this stuff here. Just about the water. Trick that was told to me you pour out all the water, leave it in the pan, and your pan sort of tips a little bit, or your bucket, most of it's going to stay there. So, little friend in here that's decided to join the video. So, let's have a look at this gold. As you can sort of see all up in there, a few little pieces of gold, nothing spectacular. Is it great gold, and is it worth coming out here and having a crack? Look, you know, depends what you want to do. If you just want to come out, have a little bit of fun, like I did today, leave, you know, if you're going to come and you're going to use a high banker or something like that here. Some people say you're not allowed to. I've never been pulled up in the 3.5 years that I've been doing this. Spoken to the ranger on many occasions, and you just make sure that, you know, you're not digging the banks and things like that, because that's not what we want to be doing. But it's never said anything to me. If they do one day, then I'll stop doing it. I tend to only come for an hour or so. I'm not spending the whole day digging here like an idiot. For very little reward, I'll drive an hour and a half or 2 hours and go to much better areas. This is just mainly, I used to do this probably once every 3 weeks for a week, come 5 days in a row before work, and have a bit of fun. And I'm starting a little bit later at the moment, so I get that opportunity to do that again for an hour, even though it's in the opposite direction from where I'm working. Yeah, look, that's not bad. It's better than nothing. And some of the gold, you might say, hey, that looks like silver. No, it's not silver, it's the mercury. There's mercury in this creek. Once you remove the gold out of the water, it starts to go silver. So if you're ever down here and you get stuck in little silver specks, and they look like gold, or they're in the shape of gold, it's probably the mercury changing them. I just noticed this, I didn't even look before. Just noticed that then a hole like in the middle of it. It's topsoil, you know, like go to your garden, you'll have just as much chance of finding gold in that as you would, you know, that's ridiculous, but that sort of shit annoys me. Want to keep this place open for as long as possible. My friend the tiger snake will be down here pretty soon. He hangs out this area. I've got some videos where I've captured him a couple of times. There's a red belly black that I captured one time as well down here. Loves to sit down there on those rocks. Here's the prospectors come down, and he comes down from this hill and checks out what the hell you're doing and why you're in this area and why you're stealing his gold. Like today was about, for me, just to test my idea of if I yabby pumped across the top of this and then I dug down in that same area, would I still be getting results? And the answer is yes. The other thing is, you don't have to go far from the car park to get some gold at Warrandyte. But as I've said, don't dig this. This is pretty much off limits. So where those big rocks are, go on the other side there if you want to. I've never had any luck. I've seen plenty of people try there, because as you can see, the creek's narrow. It widens off here. This is very hard. And then this section here, it just, after this really, really hard ground, even though this is hard packed, it drops off. It drops off down off this because it's a bit higher, about half a foot higher here than it is there. And it drops off down into this. It's pretty much, well, not worked. And I reckon if you went from this rock along that way, more over towards the inside bend where those big rocks are, just in that little area there, I could almost guarantee you're going to find something. You're not going to find a big amount of gold, but you're going to find something. If you just want to bring your kids down and have a bit of a pan, it's a bit of hard work getting through that hard pack, but you know, might put a smile on a few kids' faces if you get a few little tiny specks. they'll get pretty bored pretty quickly as well. I found, even with my kids, they come out, you know, expecting to pull out nuggets the size of this, you know, that'll make them happy. Showing them tiny little specks of gold, it's like, you know, not interested. Crystals and gems and stuff, a bit more interested, but no, they want to see a big nugget, not the little dust that I bring home. But look, I hope you have enjoyed it. Hopefully the video's been working over a few of the points that I wanted to cover. If not, then it's going to be a bit patchy, but it doesn't matter. Not too fussed. Doesn't have to be, nothing, you know, in life's perfect, and my videos are far from that. So hope to be getting out very soon. Just got to get the wife's permission to get out for one day, and then I'll talk to a couple of mates and see if we can head somewhere and do a day of digging and show you a lot more of the shiny stuff, not just a few little specks like I have here. But you know, that's nothing to be sneezed at. A lot of people would come out and be happy looking at that. So till the next time, I'll see you all later, and I hope you all have a Merry Christmas, because I don't think I'll be putting nothing up before Christmas. So I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and all the best to you out there in the creeks and in the goldfields. Till the next time, I'll see you all later.